How's your day?
Hello, Scott. Thank you for the introduction. Brad, buddy, how are you?
I'm good, Dan. How are you doing today?
Fantastic. I'm excited about this webinar.
Excellent. Excellent. Me too. Me too.
Let's get the ball rolling with our wonderful disclaimer. Okay. So Trade Ideas, as you guys all know, is not a registered investment advisor, and all the information provided by myself, Brad, Scott, or Barry, or any team member from Trade Ideas should not be construed as investment advice, but rather opinion for educational and informational purposes only. So please bear that in all of your considerations. Okay, Brad. Wow.
Hey, Dan, I updated the slide.
Brad, you fixed it. So we're gonna excuse me. We're gonna be on the Inc. 5,000. What is it? 6 years in a row, Brad?
Well, this is the fifth one here that's on here. So yeah,
So
coming up would be the sixth.
right, coming up would be the sixth. That was the 5th year. Very, very few companies ever get a chance to do that and succeed in their execution of the plan. It's just an honor to be able to service our customer base in this industry, Brad, our subscribers, the people that attend these little wonderful sessions where we interact with our customer base. You guys are venture capitalists. You're the power that keeps this fantastic engine rolling. And I have to tell you, Brad, you know, I'm always excited.
Always.
Always. After 20 years, I'm still just as excited. You know who gets annoyed at that, Brad? You know who gets annoyed at that? My wife. Okay.
Your wife.
but I digress. I digress. What I'm saying here is that, guys, we have been investing in technology. Okay. Brad, you and I have been talking about this to our staff. And the people at the Q&A, they don't come here simply for, you know, like, look at this bell, look at this whistle, everybody salivate like Pavlov's dog. No. Brad, they come here for a human interactive exchange. That's what we give them. And we're trying to tell them is really a lot of what you showcased at our development conference just the other day, where you were giving people the history and what it is that we do. But really at the end of it, right, without boring our customer base and people at this amazing Q&A webinar, we have been really investing in the tech to make the product better and better. We're going to show you some of that today. But these are the reasons really, Brad, in summary, why we were able to do what we do. And again, we don't know if we're always going to be doing record revenues every single year, but your support is why we have been, and we're grateful for it. And this Q&A session will demonstrate a lot of that. Let's keep going, buddy. What the hell?
We do have a. I was say we do have a new version that's available on the website. It's a beta version download, so I would recommend that you all go get that version if you're not currently using it. It's got a lot of features in it that aren't available in the main downloadable version. So we usually go into the to the beta first and test this for a little bit. It's been running great, and then we progress that up to the production version. So I recommend you guys download it.
Brad, can you give just a couple of highlights of what's different in this version from the last one, just at the very high level, so that
at the high level, I think that the biggest thing is that we've got some charts that have a lot more functionality in them. They're a little bit faster in the update speed. It's got a lot of nice overlay features, like whether it's been halted or not in real time. It lets you know that earnings dates are broadcast not only in real time during the current day, but also from a historical perspective on the chart. There have been some cleanup to the real-time stock races. We've got a new order entry panel. Like I mentioned, there's been some chart enhancements. There's a lot of other stuff too. So you can see about the release notes on the website and go through and see all the different additions that we've put in, but it's quite a bit.
And Brad, I think one of the things, it's like we're sort of playing business corporate style with an open playbook, but we just simply believe at the very end of the day, we've got the technology staff where we can innovate faster than our corporate competitors. Why? Well, because we're not funded by venture capital, so no one's breathing down our throats. So our team is comfy. You know, they're not being grilled and there's no crazy push. We're just executing a long-term strategy and a plan that's really been in existence since the early 2000s and continues to exist today. And there is no finish line. We see just an innovation cycle that continues to move forward, and we're just able to execute on that. So much exciting stuff happening. And Brad's showcasing, again, just the amount of innovation in a relatively small upgrade, Brad. You know, again, there's so much already behind this pipeline.
Yeah, and so much to come as well in the future. So
absolutely. So again, as Brad said, so Brad, I mean, you have to say honestly, and I hate doing this to you. Don't you like when I say that?
what are you doing to me?
Well, I'm saying I think you should talk to this because you've been sort of like, you know, I got to tell you guys, you know, Brad's a little bit more technologically advanced than I am, although I am a much better golfer. And so when we interact, Brad's like in a level of our development environment that I'm not allowed to go into. Lucky for the development environment and myself, Brad. And so he
All right, so
extracts this stuff out of it, and it's really cool to watch. So he knows like the inner underworkings of the video you're about to see, but really what's about to happen is we're going to show you our older tech on the left and our newer tech on the right. And Brad, please take it away.
thank you very much. And yeah, so I'm showing you this here in our top list window, which will be the next window to have this technology added to it. But we've already incorporated it into our charting. So the charts update at a much faster rate. Our position manager in Brokerage Plus updates at a much faster rate. So all of our windows are getting this overhaul, this technological overhaul. And so let me just go ahead and pop this video in here. And so again, like Dan was saying, our original top list, the one that's currently available, is over here on the left-hand side. It updates every 30 seconds. It gives you a chance to, you know, see exactly what's happening from a sort order perspective that you've got here on the top list, and then it updates. And over here on the right, we've got our newer technology using the faster data, and it's still giving you this speed that is not too fast to where you can't find the symbol, but you get to watch it actually moving up and down inside of your top list window. And so the data is a lot more dancey, if you will, and
Robust.
just gives you more robust. That's a good word.
But this
so
is a great example, Brad. You know, I think this is a great example for people that come to these Q&As because once again, not that you're venture capitalist, but as our subscribers, we say you are. So this is what you're funding under the hood. We believe that the right-hand side, and again, you can see how, notice how your eyes are drawn to the bottom right here, and you can see some of these names like CVE that popped. And again, you normally wouldn't look at that part of the screen, like the way the DWAC popped in there. So you're getting to see visual interactions. You're training your mind to observe data pulsations that you've never seen before. This is how we're going to transform the stock market and how it is viewed with our data. And again, you're just getting a sample of it. We're going to pop it out of the grid and it's going to be even more amazing. But you're just going to see some things that are only available in Trade Ideas. And we've always said, go ahead, Brad.
I was going to say, Dan, this is the building block here for our stock race as well. And so by having more robust data inside of our top list window, we can thereby make our stock race a little bit more engaging and a little bit more dynamic as well. So
absolutely. Brad, did you, I don't know if you have that version running with the logos. I mean, we can just speak to it if not, but I thought you had them in the single stock window, or am I crazy?
No, it was just an image. It's almost there. It's almost ready for production. But yeah, what Dan was saying is that we are in the process of adding logos to various components of the software, bringing it into the stock race if you want to have cars or logos or both, bring it into our top list windows as well as our single stock. So, well, and alert window. So really all the different components, and you'll have the flexibility to add those that graphic if you want to have it.
Yeah, we're just making the product more robust. And again, when you see the way this data dances, and we are about the data, we're about transforming the data experience so you can do what really we are about to show you. Okay, so the next part of this video, okay, and this was, I love this part, faster top loss data. The next part of the video is really, Brad, what I like to call, it's a Kung Fu style, okay, and the reason I'm saying this, you know, you can attach it to surfing, golfing, really, but I like Kung Fu because, Brad, you and I are at the age where, you know, we grew up on some great, like, late 70s, 80s Kung Fu movies, like the 5 Deadly Venoms. You probably totally forgot about it, but basically you have these different styles, like the Scorpion and Tiger style and Crane and all this stuff. And some of this applies to trading. And what I mean by that is, you know, there's the scalper. Okay, this guy goes into the market, he gets in quickly, wants to get out quickly, and then turn it around and repeat it. Very difficult style to trade. There's the swing trader. He gets in, puts a stop loss a little bit farther because he's in there for a longer term. He's able to handle more risk, but also at a slower reward time frame, and he trades totally different. And what
Probably
I want
not sizing up as much either for something.
Right, but there's also, again, going back to the Kung Fu, Brad, there's also people who are not one and doneers. In other words, when you make an entry, that might be your first scale into a position, right? Your next buy could be a pullback, which is counterintuitive, but yet, and I really do want to constantly relate this to a professional endeavor, much like golf. If you understood the great players, the Tiger Woodses, the Jordan Spieth, the Scheffler who just won the Masters, okay? These guys are not only great at driving or only great at putting, but they're also great at wedging and middle irons and getting out of like tough situations. You have to be an all-around good player. And Brad, often in stock investing and trading, people perceive stocks as this thing where you enter and then that's it. It's the consequences. No. You can do so many things. You can break up your entry. That way you put less emphasis on the initial. So let's say you got into 100 shares. You wanted to see how it behaved over the course of a week. Well, now you have some, you know, stuff to work with, and then you can decide, do I want to buy more? Do I want to scale out? Do you see what I'm saying? Brad, it's a totally different style of trading. And all of these are different.
That's actually a really good point, because everybody does have their own style. And when you do put something on the board, when you do put a position on, even if it's a small one, you're really putting that inside of your mind. You're watching it in a different way. You have different emotion attached to it, even if it's a small position. And so, you know, that 1 week of sitting on a position and watching it, Roy, you can learn a lot from that.
Absolutely. So what I'm going to show you guys right now is one of my Kung Fu styles. This is an initiation style, and it also solves 2 questions, Brad. Number 1, it shows you, well, is this a style that can make money? And I definitely believe the answer to that question is yes. Is it right for you? Only you can answer that question. But then it answers this ultimate question, Brad, which is, how do I use the racing to make money? People ask us that all the time. Well, I'm about to demonstrate to you a Kung Fu style initiated from the races. Brad, let's rock and roll. This is me trading in simulation mode from the races using what we have, which is our buy and sell buttons activated on the chart. So this is a fantastic way. So here I'm pointing out that people ask us, does Trade Ideas do long-term trading? Well, the CYN, Brad, would you just rewind it real quick and pause it for a second? I'll come back to it too, but it's just easier this way, real quick. Okay, pause right there. Thank you. Okay. So this right here, if you do not understand the value of Trade Ideas Premium after this one single slide, well, then there is no help for you, unfortunately. Number 1, obviously, not every trade that is made is a winning trade. In fact, okay, it looks very clearly, Brad, that the day this call was made, it closed lower that day, right?
Yeah, it sure did. You can see the call was right here at this point and it closed right there.
Right. And it opened even lower the next day. Look at where it opened. Right.
Yeah, below $2.
Right. but then had a pretty strong bounce and continued higher in 6 days for right around 100% and change. If you do not understand, and this is an important part of the whole Trade Ideas subscription, tell your cousins, uncles, brothers, relatives, friends, if you like them, experience. And this is, of course, what CNBC does not want to tell you. Okay, they want you to give their money to other people so that the other people can manage it for you, and you are not aware that these things right here happen. And Brad, if you can just go real quick down and tell me, what is the number of how much volume is going through something like this? Because it almost reminds me a little bit of Highcroft mining when it was running crazy. But look at the volumes here.
Yeah,
Is
so
this
I'd look up at the single stock. Well, first of all, you can see it on the chart, right? It's pretty evident. It's a big day here on the day that it was bought, but even on the next subsequent 4 days, pretty strong. This relative volume of 14 lets me know that there's doing 14 times its normal volume, which is huge. 2 times as huge. So 14 is extraordinary.
right? And so Trade Ideas caught it on that day and statistically was totally right. But again, if you're only in it for 1 day, well, guys, I mean, that's the part, or ladies and gentlemen, rather, that is the part about the emotional, numerical, financial P&L management that you have to learn. And what I'm saying is, if you do master it, if you can figure out how to do it, well, then you can realize that your profit is immense. The potential is immense. And does Trade Ideas bring it to you? Yes, we do. I'm showing you here. And by the way, this is going to be not on this Q&A, but maybe on the one after. Brad, do we not have a feed that will then continue to show you profitable AI signals when they become profitable again? And by the way, on the 3rd day, so there's the initiation day, the next day, the day after, right, Brad? It's still opened lower than the buy price, right? Even after that big run the next day, right? You
Yeah,
would have had an opportunity even the day after,
yeah.
right there. Yeah, because it opened below and then really
Even
ran.
a little below here.
Right. So what I'm saying is that's how some of these are done. It's not an instant quick gratification sort of a thing. And what I wanted to showcase is this. This is what RAI is about. And I've said it before, of course, not every trade can be a winner because ultimately that would break the supply and demand chain of the markets. It's impossible. But we do have the best technology in all of fintech, zero question. So what I'm going to show you now, and again, this one was just me highlighting how our tech is supposed to work. And I had no idea it was going to be CYN, Brad, because it came up on the race, right? I had no idea that, because again, it would have been good today, that last day, the day, like, it all would have been good any day, but I was just bringing it up. This is the race. And by the way, critical information here. So Brad and I did an adjustment on the explosive winners page. And what we did is, I don't want to really dive into it too much, but you're basically, I'm listening to these words from the CEO. You are never going to miss a big move if you're paying attention to this page. It will have them all. Never going to miss a big one, ever. It will come up on this page at some point during the day. Brad, am I speaking an untruth?
No, you're speaking the truth. You are.
And it's not like saying something like that, you better be able to back it up. So in essence, what I'm saying is that if you like to buy, not short, but if you like to buy and you want to trade the long side, Trade Ideas basic subscription with explosive winners would already be like 10x the value that you're looking for. With this adjustment,
there's something that's really important, I think, to understand here. And so you've got this list, this top list right here, and you could bring this down and you could see a whole list of stocks. And we're seeing all these stocks that are really up big from the open, which is great. But what the stock race is doing is it's going to be telling you what's moving now. So there are a lot of stocks that are below the fold here. Some are up 10%, 8%, 5%. And they're moving. You just don't know which ones are moving, but the stock race right here is pulling that data out. So it's letting you know that once you start this race, what's moving now. So even if a stock is up 20% and another one's up 10%, they kind of all square back to zero at that point. So you've got some great candidates because they're up big, but now they're back to zero. And then you can see exactly from this point who's really going, because that's the point you're investing. That's the point you're putting your money on the line. So that's why there's a lot of value to it. It's not just fun. It's not just cute.
Absolutely.
It's got some great value.
So let me show you me executing the plan using this data. So you're not only hearing me yap about it, but you're just watching it. So so here I am, I'm surfing, okay? And what I'm doing is I'm surf clicking, like I'm looking at the stocks I'm seeing on the race. Let's see what's happening. Okay, just sorted, you know. We already talked about CYN. AI was already in it. That's why I didn't buy it. Yeah, I'm looking at some of the lower ones, you know, talking about that 13 period EMA, Brad, that we're thinking about making into a strategy.
Yeah.
Liking that, the way that came out. And look at the bottom on that. Brad, pause for a second. Yeah, we scoot back just to the stock before. Yeah, so again, my personality is I like hunting those V kind of bottom patterns, especially if they can really get some momentum like that one. So I'm just saying that appeals to me because there's two parts to it. Number one, of course, depending on what you're looking for, they don't always materialize, but if you can cut your losses quickly, you're fine. The idea is that when you catch one of those that starts working, it'll work like X, Brad, if you have that stock where I pointed out the price where I thought it was bottoming.
Mm-hmm.
Later. Okay, let's continue. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm just continuing to look. I'm like, I like this pattern. I like what this looks like. See, so I put it in my hearts list. This is stuff you've seen me do before, but I'm going to show you the plan executing. Like, how do you do it? Okay, once again, you know, saying I like that. That looks good. Okay, look at that base. Nice basing on that one. So I think, Brad, I'm going to get to the point where very soon I'm going to start like, okay, look at that wedge. You know, let's see. This is my style right here. This is my kung fu. So you see what I'm doing? I'm placing a buy order where I think it's like heading back into that resistance, and then the system automatically places a stop loss for me. Very convenient. I don't have to do anything. I don't have to think that much about it, and it's already in the system. Again, big. So I like that one, Brad, because look at that on the daily, right? That's a big volume move up. It'll probably pull back, but I just like, you know, again, just being there, present. Because remember, between 140 and $1 is actually not that many cents. So Brad, if it traded down there, I might even, again, consider accumulating if I believe that this is a bottoming pattern, right? And really then get out below $1 where something completely fundamental has changed. And so I'm showing you how I'm navigating this thing. Look at what I'm doing on the daily so you can see what I'm trying to pick up. And I'm just exercising. This is a type of kung fu. Okay, I'm going from the racing. I'm finding these bottoming kind of patterns. And then what I do is I adjust my risk level. So here, you know, I'm putting a stop loss just to that other level. I don't have to go. And you have that freedom, Brad. I really like the demonstration of the fact that you have this. So Trade Ideas does a lot of stuff for you, but then you can visually quickly adjust.
Right, and you have it set up in your settings to put that stop at the low of the day automatically, yeah. You know, which you can adjust as you just showed.
Right, and again, it's so nice because what this allows you to do, and if I may speak to it, Brad, it's simply just a different type of risk strategy. Like earlier in the day, I would maybe, I'm like, oh, look at that. I really like, see, like I even forgot what I was thinking, but as soon as I see it, I'm like, that move appeals to me. So if it can bust through that again, and look at what you're trying to do, right? Again, very calculated risk. So what I was saying before is in the beginning of the day, I might let it go to lows of the day, but towards the end of the day, I adjust my stops accordingly, right? Because I don't need to have it like really trade down to lows. And one of my buys just got hit in MDVL. So what I wanted to showcase is, you know, this is a style that I had, and I have, and I execute this style often. And a lot of times investors never know what it feels like to be in a trade, really the way we talk about it. So I wanted to showcase it for you guys. Like when you see the candle, Brad, like ticking up and down, I really like that because it has that P&L pulse feeling to it. Like you're like, oh, wait a minute, did I do something right? Oh, maybe
Don't be so shocked.
don't be so shocked. I know, but this is the beauty of our technology at work here, guys. This is me showcasing the possibilities. And look, you can see the bigger picture, right? Look at what I'm trying to do. Like, I'm not really in it for even a 40-cent move if that's what it happens, right, Brad? I'm trying to think of this thing going through $3. That's where the real fun begins if you can get those. You know, I'm not saying it's easy by any means. I'm just saying that this is the play, and this is what these plays look like, okay? And a lot of you've never experienced it. And here it is, live on camera for you. So I'm bringing in my Brokerage Plus. You can kind of see a little bit of that window there. So I'm showing you, so this is what I was doing. And it had some other positions from stuff that I had been doing before. No big deal. And you can just see it, a quick $164. Because I allocated, I think, $5,055, Brad, to each trade, because you know what I like. Here's a nice candles building. I don't know of any other Whoa, what happened, Brad? That was it? Okay, that's fine. I don't really know of any other vendors that show you the kind of stuff that we show you there. You know, where again, you create a technique based on your technology, you're executing that technique, you show people how to do it. And again, I think it should be imitated. You should be making your trades with the buy and sell buttons on the charts because it's not emotional that way. You don't need any of these indicator crossings and all this other bullshit, no offense. But we talk the talk because we walk the walk. You know, we do this. This is the business that we're involved in, and we continue to work in this business to innovate with you guys. If we weren't interested in it, we would have not be doing it. We still think the stock market is kind of like this uncharted area because so much of the innovation was stifled in the in the late 1990s when all the day trading firms got bought out. But myself, Brad, and the founders of Trade Ideas, we're from that sector of people. We never stopped. We just continue to innovate. Nobody ever bought us out. And we're now taking this technology to a whole other level. And you guys get to go for the ride with us. We're going to change the way people perceive stock market data. You can feel it already. And I know it's not easy to maybe fathom, and people can say all sorts of stuff, but really get ready, because you're watching a must-have product in the formation phase of the must-have. Millions of people will want access to this once we're done. Millions. So, Brad, it's pretty exciting to me. Did you cut your mic off?
Oh, I did. Thank you.
See, you must have been talking and talking.
Talking and talking. Yeah. So I'm bringing up this is the software here. We're outside of the video, outside of the PowerPoint, and just bringing up our software. This is our channel bar. This allows you to really get a head start. All the professionals at Trade Ideas configured these windows, so you don't need to really get value out of the software. You don't need to spend a lot of time learning the software to be able to get value out of it. So you can really hit the ground running. But once you do know what you're doing with respect to configuration, you can really configure anything that you want to look for. So the channel bar, super important to be aware of, and a lot of great pieces of technology and a lot of great little strategies are inside of these different channels that we have. I do want to point out one new channel. We've had it for a week and a half or 2 weeks now. It's the TI Trader I. This is a curated channel by the professional traders at Trade Ideas. So we've got a support staff and a trading group that are very familiar with the stock market and do their own trading. And so they're curating ideas throughout the day. You know, the software, the alert windows, the top list windows, they bring you a lot of great ideas, but sometimes it's kind of hard and difficult to figure out which of those ideas are the best ones that you should really focus on. And so with the Trader's Eye channel, you really do get a focused approach where the traders have curated it, they're maintaining the symbol list of stocks, and you're then getting alerted to the price action when something makes a new high or a new low out of that curation.
Brad, will you click on either COP
Yeah,
or...
so these are two of the stocks today, and let's just take a look. So this is our intraday chart right here. Let me kind of scroll back, and when was that? Let me do this. Let me go ahead and run a history here.
These guys like the stuff that I like, Brad.
Yeah, so I'm going to scroll back to the beginning of the market, and we can kind of see where these stocks were. You know, at that signal right here at $91, this is where it got triggered on this particular candle, the first one of the day. So that ended up working out nicely. And then if you were to get this one early on, that one also worked out pretty nicely. But these are continuing to be, if there's something that doesn't work out, if there's a new signal that really should be introduced to the group, a new stock, then they will add that through the day. So it's a real-time curation.
So much
Pre-market channel. Yeah, pre-market channel. It's one of the one of the most popular channels, because this is where people start their day out. They want to see what stocks are gapping up or gapping down or moving in the morning on some volume before the market even kicks off. It's a great channel to get that perspective. And there's some races running as well that give you a little bit of a different flavor to those gappers in the morning. This was the explosive winners channel that Dan was highlighting. He made a change to it. I'll kind of show you how, well, maybe you didn't make a change, because we are looking at, we did that last week, didn't we? We changed this window so that now we're looking at the biggest gainers from the open rather than biggest gainers from the close. And you could shape this window any way you want, but we decided that looking at the change from the open, really what it prevented was stocks that were gapping up and just kind of staying there. You know, if it gapped up 10% or 20% and just kind of stays there, not giving you a great opportunity to trade after that big gap move, we're removing that from the window.
Yeah, with the trade from the open data, but it also then, Brad, if something goes negative and then turns positive from the open, it still catches all that stuff. So it really allows you to see the bad turning to good. Then that's why I think that window makes it so that you're never going to miss something.
Agreed. And so we give you a different time frame on a similar look. This is looking at the gainers of the week rather than the gainers of the day, which is that top one. Those are our top list windows, giving you kind of a snapshot data look at whatever filtering and whatever sorting value you want to look at. But this bottom window, this Trade Ideas Winner Watcher, it's an alert window. It's a multi-strategy because it's got multiple alert strategies in it, but essentially it's giving you real-time notifications of something happening. So at the top of this window is going to be the most recent event. So you can click on that. You can see this stock here happens to be making a post-market high. And obviously, a lot of times in the post-market, you're not going to get a lot of trading volume. You're just going to get some ticks. But that's why we did the video for you guys earlier, because with the market hours, you get a little bit more robust data coming through, and it makes it a little bit more interesting. So Scott, you're asking a question about adding parameters to the TI Trader Eye. So you can absolutely take that window, take that channel that we built, and you can customize it any way you want. You can see, let me go back to you and show you real quick. Really, the key is the symbol list that's being used. So for instance, if you right click in here and you go to configure symbol list, they're using the TI Trader's Eye symbol list, which is that curation that they're maintaining. But if you want to go in here and you want to add a different alert, let's go into the configuration area. Right now, it's just looking at new highs, but if you wanted to say, 15-minute new highs, you can do that, and you can add that in here. Now, it's not going to go ahead and save it on the channel here under the Trader's Eye, but you can always take this channel or this window and save it to your own cloud or to your own workspace. You can do it up into a custom channel here, or just incorporate it into your own default layout. You can have both of these signals working, or you can take the new high off and just have this one. You could even bring in, some bearish signals if you want. So you can do anything you want from that regard. Up here in this docked channel bar and this docked window here, you can click on that D, and then you can edit the custom channels. And this is where you can go ahead and add the cloud link. And that cloud link can be a whole layout. It can be a single dock with multiple windows in it. It could be a free floating window or multiple free floating windows. So it can really be anything that you want to save and bring back at a later time.
Very good stuff. There's just a continuing, feed of innovation that's going into the channel bar, and I think people forget that it's almost always being updated. So there's a reason to surf, and remember, you always have this ability to click heart on any one of them, and of course trade like the way Brad is showing you. But the heart then creates a footprint, and those are my three-pronged plan when I was doing quote my Kung Fu demonstration. Is Brad, go click on your heart channel. Remember, there's a channel also that's there, that's all the stocks that you like. And if you understand how to use all this technology together, and Brad, I actually like this because I think you had cleaned yours up for, because you probably had a big long list.
Yeah, I deleted a bunch.
Yeah, no, and so now you're kind of in this new mode, and you just added star. At least you should have just added star. Yeah, there it is. And this way, again, you learn how to work with your own intuition. This is part of what I was showcasing, Brad, when people saw the candle build in that trade that we were in using trade ideas. How, again, it's not just a data platform, it's a full trade management, P&L risk management suite of technology that dials you right into the profit and loss and how those ticks feel. And by the way, as I mentioned before, the best way to acquiesce to that data is in simulated mode, because you're not risking anything. You can kind of feel like, Brad, can I be honest? Even when I was in that trade and I was filming, because I knew that we'd be showcasing it, I was like a little nervous. My heart was racing a little bit. And I have to say that it's a little bit like, it's funny as that is, in the analogies that we make to golf, and why I think we're going to be advertising in Golf Digest. It's really the same thing. When you were on the range and you're just feeling like you're smoking it, and you'd be like, I should be on tour. Then as soon as you get to the first tee, you forget everything you did on the range, and you're all nervous, because if you're like literally playing in a tournament, which you're not, this is the same thing. You practice and practice and practice, but when you make an actual trade, it'll still be different. But the more you practice, the better you will be at it. I mean, Brad, is this not going back to the simplest thing? Practice makes perfect.
There's no question, and you have to figure yourself out. You have to know where your sweet spot is, just like in golf. You don't want to overswing and shoot it 30 yards left or 30 yards right. The same thing applies with the way that you size your positions. If you put yourself in too big of a position, more than you can handle emotionally, you're going to end up getting out too early. You're going to end up taking your profits too early. Everything's going to not be in sync with how you actually are. So you really do need to find your own sweet spot and not try to force anything in the marketplace.
And then I'll ask the people that are here, again, compare our environment to our competition. Go to TC 2000 or Equity Feed, or I don't even know who else is out there, eSignal, even TradingView, and say, okay, where is the easiest place to make trading from the charts happen? Ask yourself these questions and look at this Q&A webinars, how we answer them. I think we make it the easiest for you to just continuously get a stream of information and react to it, okay? And again, doing it in simulation teaches you to take action quickly and deal with the consequences. There is only one way to do it. You either practice or you do not succeed. It is that simple. And there's zero doubt in my mind, Brad, that we are by far the most advanced practice driving range for trading in the world today. Again, you can do automated, you can do hybrid, you can do chart trading, which is what we're showcasing, and we're only getting started, guys. Wait till we do the invisible stops. Okay, you want to know what's happening at Trade Ideas? For real life trading, we're going to make it so that when you place the limit orders, they're not going to go onto the book. because we've got the servers to watch them, and they're only going to go on the book when the price hits. Yeah, it's going to be that good. So that means the high frequency trading firms like the Citadels are not going to sit there with an open playbook knowing exactly where the buyers and sellers are. So everyone will flock to this tech. Amazing stuff is at hand. Brad, stop trying to buy our stock. It's not even public yet.
I just subscribed again, sorry.
Dang it. All right, Brad, show what you show. I think I feel like we've done an amazing Q&A webinar as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, I was just going to offer a little bit of advice to some people getting started from a perspective of developing your own workspace, your own custom layout. Of course, you can use the channel bars and you can cycle through those channels all day long, but I think ultimately you also want to have your own layout that has the windows, the strategies, the setups, the charts, everything the way that you want it. And to do that, once you build it, and I guess what I was going to point out here is that these windows that I have on my personal default layout, they're all windows that reside in the various channels. And so that's why you'll want to peruse the channels and see what's interesting for you. Pop out the windows, duplicate the windows, save them to the cloud, however you want to do it, to ultimately incorporate them into your own layout, where I've got charts that I've customized for myself. I've got a multi-strategy that's in one of the different channels that happens to have, a ton of different strategies in it. So I'm always getting ideas being fed to me through this particular window. I've got another one that's always looking for these momentum stocks that are making continual new highs, alpha predator trade candidates, so some top list windows. It's really a mix of top list alerts and my bread and butter price alert window. So you can set up an alert very quickly on the screen here. So I've got this alert right here if a stock happens to fall back, but I could bookend it right here and put in a price alert above it. I might want to do it a little higher than this, and I can move it. And so once you've done that, there's an alert already set up here. It's going to meander between this low alert and this high alert, but when it crosses one of those thresholds, I'm going to be immediately notified. And the great thing is I'm probably not going to be looking at this stock at the time of that. I'm going to be looking at something else. But when that trigger happens, I'm going to get a ding. I'm going to have an audible alert. It's going to flash here. I can click on it, and then I can make my decision. Do I want to go ahead and trade it right now? Through my right-click menu, do I want to put a trade here right from my, from the chart buy, or do I want to come over to my Brokerage Plus order entry panel and put in the order right here, however I want to do it? So you've got a lot of flexibility, how you want to do that. So
and by the way,
I want to show.
Brad, I was going to say that once you like the layout you have, you can actually put it in the channel bar. I mean, it's that sophisticated.
Yep. So guys, unless there are any questions, we'll come back to the
Yeah, let's go to the slide and wrap it up, Brad. Oh, I want to tell everybody real quick, just to keep an eye on US Steel for tomorrow. The symbol is X. Brad, maybe you can bring it up. It's had a big pullback from the highs of all the alerts. I mean, it's had an incredible run, but actually bring up, Brad, do you have that slide? I put it up on Twitter. And again, just so you know, like what kind of people you're working with, that's all I ask. Let me see this thing here. Because it is about investing. It's about making money. So Twitter has earnings tomorrow. Twitter.
You'll actually need to send me the link because I've been banned.
Sorry, Brad.
I can't search.
It's fine. Don't worry about it. My point is, I've been pointing this stock out since $5. If you follow Trade Ideas on Twitter, you would know that. I think there's still a great buy here at these levels. They've had a pullback. Just keep an eye on this earnings tomorrow after the close. Only opinions, nothing else, Brad. Let's finish it up.
All right.
So as Brad and I were showcasing, lots of improvements in the software, better data, more chart functionality. And also for those of you that have questions about things, and remember we were showing you how to buy in the charts, and of course the racing and the AI. So much new stuff is coming to the AI, I can't even explain it. But the racing is critical. It's the next way to view data, and check it out at trade-ideas.com/stock race. As you saw, please, my favorite part of the show, do not subscribe to Trade Ideas if $7.50 a day for the most premium undiscounted product is, in your mind, a high price to pay. That's the most expensive it gets for Trade Ideas, $7.50 a day. If you can't roll with that, then I'm going to tell you right now, stock trading is not the business for you. Brad, am I wrong?
You are not wrong. You are absolutely not wrong.
You're going to have to be able to deal with a little bit more than $7.50 a day. Okay.
I need a few more shirts for that.
And a few more shirts. But of course, hold on, Brad, back into the
Go back.
Kennedy. But of course, because we know you love your friends, you are already subscribers, I'm assuming, Brad. But
Yeah, most everybody here is.
Right. But for your friends, cousin, uncle, spring is here, 20% off your first month or a year off Trade Ideas. Want to make sure we get the promo code out. Brad, you were so quick to rush off. Okay. Our education, everyone, lots of you guys asked questions here in the Q&A webinar. Brad and I don't always get to them simply because we don't focus on the day-to-day, daily things that are individual, like how do I set up my scanner or how do I get this filter? Please shoot us an email to info@trade-ideas.com, as Brad said in chat. But of course, also the education is always available at trade-ideas.com/live. Our education and support, including the YouTube channel and our users guide, they're unparalleled. And if you want to know like how good this business is, just look at our users guide and think about the people that made them. That's it.
Yeah, Oni, this would be a great place for you to get that answer to your question about setting up a scanner, because they'll answer that question live on a video. So go to that link tomorrow and they'll help you out.
Absolutely. Barry, whose birthday it is today, happy birthday, Barry. Usually runs our trading room. I don't know if he ran it today because it's his birthday, but most likely he did. Please check it out. Barry showcases all the functionality, is very advanced user and helps people just find their niche. Trade-ideas.com/trading room. Barry's a fantastic member of the Trade Ideas team and is always available to anybody who has questions for him. Of course, Trade Ideas, as we said, is not only your driving range, but your PGA Tour destination, the Masters, if you like to call it. When you're ready to hit the ball live, you can always create an account in Interactive Brokerage, where they do charge a commission, but you get the super fancy automated trading and our zero-cost broker, ETRADE. All of this is live. We do tons of executions through them, not through any HFT, although who knows where they send them, probably there, Brad, but we can't control that. Our customers trade with zero commissions from ETRADE and a little bit of commissions on IB. But again, fully real trading exists with Trade Ideas, not only simulated, but of course, the most advanced simulated trading environment that you could ever come across.
It's also important to, let me just point out, we do have this great little piece of technology called external linking. So even if your broker is not with ETRADE or Interactive Brokers, we can link to those platforms 99% of the time. So you can just click on a symbol in Trade Ideas and have all your order entry panel, charts, and all the other tools in your brokerage application update. So just know that.
Yes. And although Brad and I have been banned from all social media, I'm doing a lot more on Twitter as the Trade Ideas corporate account. There's other Trade Ideas Twitter accounts, but please like us on the Face Space and TalkTick and what's the other one? Snapchat, Brad. There's so many. Getter. We're so big on Getter, Brad. I've never seen one. Telegram? Is that where we're big?
True Social.
I don't even know what these things are. I only have one and they kicked me off of it. But again, please shoot us an email for all of your questions to info@trade-ideas.com. And we are grateful for your support and thank you for your attendance at the webinar. Scott, we're good.
Happy birthday, Barry.
Happy birthday, Barry.
Yeah, that sounds good. So everyone can keep an eye out tomorrow for an email about with the link to the playlist where you can find the replay of the webinar. Thank you all. Have a good one.
Bye.